Welcome. So happy to have you.
Yes. Last episode, you asked me about how I was doing in the new year.
Yeah.
How are you doing this new year?
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking. You know, it's so funny. Because you know how this is actually very common when someone asks, oh, how are you? And then what? And how about you? And people often, native speakers say, oh, thanks for asking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you thought of me.
Yes.
Because usually you ask when you are interested.
Right.
Or thought about that person.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how is your new year starting?
And my new year is actually so far so good.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're off to a good start. And usually around the first month, it's very slow, but actually I'm quite busy. And I feel very grateful that I have work.
A good busy.
I'm you got to hustle these days.
Yeah. We're freelancers.
We're freelancers.
So if no work, no eating.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And no insurance.
Yeah, and no insurance.
Yeah, right. So we're just happy. I think if you've got a steady job or if you're a freelancer and you have some work, steady work, that's all that we're asking for now.
Yes, yeah.
Because people are having a hard time. Okay. We are going to talk about social media marketing campaign. Okay, that's the topic for the Biz Dialogue this month. Walk me through each step. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So many throughs.
Yeah, through.
Think it through. Work your way through. Walk me through.
Yes.
My goodness, what is going on? What does this mean?
So to walk someone through each step means that you are explaining every step of a process. First, we're going to do A.
Yeah.
Then we'll do B.
Right.
The reason we're doing B is because of C.
Right.
Then we do C.
C.
So you're explaining a process step by step.
Okay. How about gear towards something or someone?
This means that something was made or designed thinking about one person or type of person.
Yeah.
It's targeting a certain group.
Okay, very good. And grab someone's attention.
To grab someone's attention is to get their attention, to attract their focus.
Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and listen to our dialogue.
I'm really excited to launch this social media marketing campaign with you, Megan.
Don't get too excited. We're going to be doing a lot of work over the next few weeks.
Just walk me through each step and I'll do what needs to be done.
Well, since we know who our audience is, we'll start by producing content geared toward our specific demographic.
Right, because if we don't grab their attention, we've wasted hundreds of hours.
Yeah, and thousands of dollars.
Okay, let's look at the dialogue. James says, I'm really excited to launch this social media marketing campaign with you, Megan. So the whole dialogue series is based on social media marketing campaign. Now, these days, you can't do anything without social media marketing.
Oh, yeah. Everything
that's
is
the way
online.
to go. It's online, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Megan says, don't get too excited. We're going to be doing a lot of work over the next few weeks. Now, here is our power pattern today. Don't get too excited.
Yes.
What does this mean? Because isn't this exciting?
Right, yes. Yeah. James is excited, but Megan, she seems like she might be a little more realistic. So she's saying, hey, don't be happy right now.
Yeah.
We got a lot of work to do.
We sure do.
Yeah, so it's very often that person who is negative or at least realistic saying, hey, stop, slow down.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited. We have work to do.
We have work to do. So don't get too excited. Calm down. You need to just...
Yeah, it's not the time to get excited yet.
That's right.
We can do
Calm
that
down.
later.
All right, we've got a lot of work to do. And James says what?
Just walk me through each step and I'll do what needs to be done.
Okay, so walk me through each step. So walk someone through something.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
This means you're explaining something to them, and you're explaining every single part of the process. So Megan, she probably has the entire plan completely finished.
Okay.
So she is going to talk about everything in the order that it will be done. In the same way, let's say you are at a factory taking a tour.
Okay.
And they are going to literally walk you through their factory and be like, this is how we make our chocolate candy.
Yeah.
First, the chocolate beans come into the factory. We roast them, and then we let them cook. And like they just go through the entire process.
Yeah.
In the same way, even if you're not actually walking, the walking through is talking about every step of the process.
So the walking side is more of a visual effect.
Yes.
Like you are having a walking tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because you can also say, you can call something a walkthrough when it is practicing for the main event.
Like a rehearsal.
Like a rehearsal, a walkthrough. So sometimes people practice their wedding the day before they have the actual wedding.
Rehearsal dinners.
That would be a rehearsal or a ceremony walkthrough. Oh, the bride will come in this time, and then she'll walk down.
Yeah.
And then the dog will come down with the rings, and the little girl will have the petals, the rose petals. Like that would, the plan or the practicing of every step before the actual thing.
So when you say it in this context, like in a business context, can you walk me through it?
Yes.
You're basically saying, can you explain this process step by step?
Yes.
Like I'm on a tour. Okay? So that's what James is saying. Just walk me through each step. So James is asking Megan, okay, tell me about the process, okay? And Megan says, well, since we know who our audience is, we'll start by producing content geared toward our specific demographic. So this is about marketing here. So they know the audience, the target audience. They're going to produce content.
Yes.
What kind of content?
The content geared toward their specific demographic.
Okay.
So I think we should go backwards with this one. First, looking at the word demographic.
That's our power vocab. Yes.
So demographic is a word that means type of person. The DEMO here is related to the same DEMO in democracy, which is talking about people. Right? So when you say demographic, you're saying this type of person. And in business, we do this a lot. Like 20 to 35-year-olds that live in Korea. That would be a demographic.
Right.
And then you can narrow it down and say, oh, only women in that demographic. Who live in Seoul.
Yeah.
And then only women who have a college degree.
Okay.
Like it's how you're defining whatever group of people that you often want to analyze or research or, in this case, target.
That's right. So here, they want to produce content for a specific demographic, a specific group of people.
Yes.
So what is geared toward?
So when you're talking about gearing towards something in a business context, you're saying the product is made for this person.
Yes.
So most often in any type of business, whether it's a physical product or like content media, the person making it is thinking about someone.
Yeah.
Not every TV show goes to every person.
Right.
Not every cell phone goes to every person. So they think, what is the number one type of customer we want?
Okay.
And so we are going to gear our product toward that type of person.
Okay, so we're going to be laser focused with one
focusing
group
on
of
it.
people. Okay. James says, right, because if we don't grab their attention, we've wasted hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, the whole point of marketing is grabbing people's attention, you know? So what is to grab, G-R-A-B, someone's attention?
To grab their attention, you could say pull their attention. Maybe they're focusing on something else, and you're saying, hey, look at me. Look what I'm doing. Look at this. That is turning someone's focus away from what they normally would to what you want it to go to, and that is grabbing their attention.
Now, there are many ways, many other verbs that we use with this, like get someone's attention. Can I have your attention? But when we see the word grab, it's really kind of like, bam.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, look over here. Hey.
That's it.
It does feel kind of forceful.
That's right. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to that dialogue one more time.
I'm really excited to launch this social media marketing campaign with you, Megan.
Don't get too excited. We're going to be doing a lot of work over the next few weeks.
Just walk me through each step and I'll do what needs to be done.
Well, since we know who our audience is, we'll start by producing content geared toward our specific demographic.
Right, because if we don't grab their attention, we've wasted hundreds of hours.
Yeah, and thousands of dollars.
All right, it's time for Power Note. We're on pages 34 and 35. Walk someone through something means what?
You are explaining something to someone step by step.
Yes.
Kind of giving a tour of something.
All right. Here's the new health tracking app we're releasing soon.
Thanks. Can you walk me through it before I show the CEO?
Okay, so what you're asking me is, can you show me how this is set up? Like, how do I, what's involved in the new tracking app? Like, what's your purpose? What are you going to accomplish?
Right, yeah, and you're probably going to look at every menu item and say, these are all the menus you can select.
What options?
These are the functions you can perform, all of that.
Okay. The factory manager walked the new employees through all the safety procedures.
Yes.
So this is not so much a tour, but it's kind of like, here, the safety, these are the safety rules. Number 1, number 2, number 50.
Yes.
Okay? And that's walking through someone.
Yes.
Or something.
Yeah. So this can be something big, like in business or going through a factory. It can be something smaller. Let's say you are babysitting and the parents might walk you through their safety procedures.
Yeah.
Say, here's a list. Here's the police. Here's the fire. Here's all the numbers you need to call.
Right.
Here is where we keep our food. If they get hungry, you can feed them.
Right.
This is their bed. This is the time they're going to go to bed.
Yes.
It's not, babysitting is probably not a super stressful job.
Yeah.
But you are still going through all of the procedures that you're expecting them to perform during that time.
Right. Okay. So to walk someone through something. Okay. And of course, like if you're a new employee, you're going to be kind of lost. And so you need direction.
Yes.
So it is kind of like instructing and directing at the same time. Okay. Geared towards something or someone means to focus on a particular group or objective. So, excuse me, do you have a sweater in my size?
I'm sorry, but our clothes are geared toward teenage girls. So this is, it's all young girls that these clothes are for. So, if I'm a 33-year-old man, probably not the clothes for me.
Right.
They were not thinking about me when they were making those clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This camera is geared toward professional photographers.
Yeah.
Not all cameras are the same.
They are not. I have to do camera shopping every once in a while.
Oh, my gosh.
And, cameras are very special.
That's right.
Some are for outside wildlife photography. Some are for photographs. Some are for video.
Yeah.
Some have, special types of lenses you can use.
True.
So it's just what is the function or what is the final customer and how is that being designed?
Right.
That's how we would say a product is geared towards a person.
Okay, very good. All right, let's give another example of how we can use gear toward.
So, Power English is geared toward intermediate to advanced English learners.
Absolutely.
I love beginning English students, but if we're being honest, this show is not for new learners of English.
No, not at all.
It is for students who have a little bit of an English learning background,
Right.
and they're looking to have more English in their lessons.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's geared toward, I would even say, dare I say, because it's an all English program, that even that makes it difficult.
Yeah.
You know, as far as listening is concerned. So it's geared toward like high intermediate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advanced learners.
Yeah.
And mostly adults.
Yes.
I think that, we have many great shows for children on EBS.
Yes.
And I don't think that our show is necessarily a show
Right.
for children.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Exactly. All right, so to gear toward. Okay, grab someone's attention means to get someone's attention. But like I mentioned before, it is like really just like, bam,
Yeah.
it gets your attention.
Hey, look at me. Hey, right
I'm
here.
right here.
Hey.
Okay. Put the sun in the middle of the picture and make the words bigger.
Great idea. That'll grab people's attention when they see our ad.
I mean, that's what marketers do. Their main purpose is to get people's attention, to grab people's attention.
Yes.
And hold on to it. If you see the waitress, try to grab her attention. When you're at a restaurant,
Yes.
what do you do if you want to grab the server's attention?
In Korea or America?
Yeah, let's talk about that. In Korean,
Yes. In
여기요.
Korea, 저기요, 주문할게요.
네.
Yeah,
네.
you can kind of talk.
Yeah.
In America,
do you say, hey, hello?
I say nothing.
You say nothing.
I just look at the waiter or waitress.
Do you even raise your hand?
No, most often, unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
If it's an emergency, maybe I'll raise my hand.
Yeah.
Usually, I just wait for eye contact.
Eye contact.
I'm just you just stare at the person
Yeah.
until they look at you,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of oh, can you come here?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you come here?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. It's got to be very subtle.
And
Or-
that way, it's you're
Yeah.
not usually grabbing their attention as
You're
much
just
as maybe getting their attention.
Right, it's a little bit different. Okay. Our power pattern today is don't get too excited, which means calm down.
Wait, calm down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get too excited. We're staying in a dorm room.
Oh, don't get too excited. The food here isn't that great.
Okay.
I know it's
I'm
a
so
buffet.
excited. Oh my gosh.
I know it's a buffet,
Uh-huh.
but the food is not that
Not
good.
that great.
Yeah.
Okay, so lower your expectations.
Yes.
Okay. Demographic is our power vocab on page 36. Do check out the definition. Let's thank our sponsor.